Hello. Thanks for agreeing to set up this interview. As you know, we only have a short amount of time, so let's go ahead and get started right away. Now, I know that you've been involved in some work on community issues. Can you tell me what attracted you to the community issue that you chose at the beginning of the semester?
What actually attracted me to my community issue, which was Alzheimer's dementia, is that Alzheimer's dementia runs in my family. My great great aunt is dealing with Alzheimer's. My grandpa passed away due to Alzheimer's, and my mom is has dementia. It is something that really has impacted my life in such a big way, and it's a disease that I really didn't know much about. And like even like with my grandpa dealing it, with my great aunt dealing with it now, and my mom, like I just didn't know much about it. So I wanted to do a topic that would inform people with something that could affect them longer down the road. Maybe they get diagnosed with it or something. And also, it's something that they just don't talk much about this horrible disease. They just talk about how you lose your memory, but they don't talk about why that happens, or do I get it because it runs in the family, which you can get Alzheimer's dementia because of head trauma, not because it runs in the family. And then also, it's a good topic to know. So,
Okay, thank you. Now, your materials also said that you were involved in a community issue team project that focused on a call to action. Can you share with me what call to action your team put forward and why you chose that call to action?
the call to action my team put forward was exercise your right to vote. The reason why we chose that as our call to action was it's our civic duty as Americans to go out and vote. People died for us to become America. People died for us to vote. People died for us to have our own government and not be with England. Um, Also, some countries like women can't even vote. Men can't even vote if they're maybe in the middle class or the underclass. And in some countries, it's just the higher class men that can vote. So, like, why not get out there and voice your opinion? Even though it's one vote, that one vote can come down to the election, which some people don't know about, but it's actually true. It's been stated in facts that we stated within our speech that we talked about, and then also it was right around voting time, so it was the perfect time to do it.
I see.
Yes.
Now, if I were to ask the other members of your team what they think your biggest strength is, what do you think they would say, and why do you think they would say it?
I think my teammates would say my biggest strength is public speaking. I was the only person in our group that has done public speaking before um, coming to NDSU, and mostly before comm 110. Um, I actually spoke in front of a crowd of about 300 people, which that is that's a big crowd if you don't like public speaking. That was my first time ever public speaking. And if you ask anyone, like, I was not nervous. Somehow, like, I sounded so clear and so vocal that I think I really brought that to our group by just sounding confident, even though maybe I didn't know fully what I was saying off my note cards. But sounding 100% confident is really the key when you public speak. And I think I brought that to our group of sounding confident and not being afraid to take something maybe I didn't fully know and just reading off a note card. So I think that was my biggest strength.
Okay, great. What for you was the most challenging thing about working with your team?
The most challenging thing for me working with my team was finding a time we all could get together because we're all like super busy, super involved, and it doesn't help that I'm involved with like 500 other organizations. Um, but like getting together and working on our speech, we actually didn't get together before we presented our speech in front of the class. We just practiced on our own and we kind of winged it when we were up there, which I probably shouldn't say, but that's what we did. And also, like, I didn't know what my other teammates were saying because we probably met twice and that was it. And I was like very nervous, not knowing what they were gonna say. Because what if I had the same information, even though they were different topics? So that was probably our biggest default as a team of all being so busy and not being able to get together and working on our speech and then practicing before presenting it in front of the class.
Thank you. Okay, last question. In 30 seconds or so, tell me what your biggest takeaway was from Com 110 this semester. What will stick with you and be useful to you?
The biggest takeaway that I'm going to take away from comm 110 is talking to like a fridge or a mirror, not technically a mirror, or maybe a wall, and practicing and getting the jitters out before you maybe go into a job interview or a public speaking event where you're trying to get people to buy this marketing thing you're marketing to them. Because that's actually my strongest weakness is butterflies when I public speak, and then I start to shake. And I think practicing and like talking to my refrigerator and all that kind of stuff that we learned before we did our first before we spoke the first time in front of the class is going to be my biggest takeaway from comm 110.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me. We'll probably be in touch with you in the next few weeks or so. Take care.
Okay, thank you. You too.